Hey guys, for today I want to talk about uh, learning from experience and versus learning from someone. So, learning from someone, for example, it's when you take an advice from people that you never experience. It could be with job, money, relationship, trying new things. So it's very there's few benefits of listening to someone without having any experience with it. The first one is you don't suffer from the consequences that it brings. Obviously, when you learn from people's mistakes, you're learning from their mistake that happened to them and that you would like to avoid. And by learning from people's experiences, you won't have to suffer through wasting your time, energy, or money because you're learning from them. And it's a really great advice when you try to play it safe and you don't know what to expect. So it's obviously good to have more information and get as much as to get as much information as possible so you know exactly what is you're gonna look for and what you're trying to avoid. But there's a but if you want trying to learn something from your own experience, I feel like it's more effective. Obvious reasons is because you experience what it's like to go through like some problems, challenges, and mistakes you have done. They're gonna stick to you much more. They'll just stick to you much more, and it's gonna be more impactful in your life, and you will definitely remember it. As for example, it's like a kid with the cattle, like had cattle or just fire. The mom will tell you like, "Don't touch that, don't touch that." Obviously, the kid will be too curious and will burn himself and start crying. So, obviously, you can learn from other people's mistakes and things you should avoid, but from your own experience, you will know how to suffer through it. So when you touch the fire, you'll know, and it's also in our brain that will remember what gave us pain and we'll try to avoid it as much as possible so we don't feel the same pain. And why I want to talk about this is because Hamza, the popular YouTuber for self improvement, he said that we should not chase women and we should just pursue and our goals, purpose, and ignore it like women, basically. And put all your energy on focusing on your goals instead of on the woman. I agree with him partially. What I mean by that is sometimes women are, or like opposite sex, it doesn't have to be always women. They are a good purpose or motivation for you to have an improvement of yourself. For example, with me, I was a very low standard dude who wasn't very healthy, who didn't take care of himself, who didn't care about his looks. I mean, I did care about my looks, but like I didn't do anything about it. Like I didn't know you can like dress up, change, get a nice haircut, taking care of yourself. It's all about having the motivation or purpose or goal for why you're trying to improve. For me, I started the gym because I want to look bigger, stronger, and attract girls. That was my goal in the beginning. I mean, it still is, but like now it's more about like I'm trying to get bigger because I want to be more intimidating, and if I need to fight someone, like I can fight them off. And so, even though my goals or my purpose of working out has changed, it it started me from trying to chase the woman. even though it's not a good idea to do that. So I believe, yes, you want to invest in yourself, but also you got to learn from your mistakes. And by the way, also, the more you learn when you go into a relationship, I don't know if it's your first time or even you've had any, but it's really good to learn the opposite sex, because even though we're all human beings and there's limits of what is the same, girls and boys are very different from each other and the way they think. I'm probably not gonna go into it too much, but you just have to learn how to deal and communicate with women. And the best way to do that is from experience. You can learn from like the books and how to communicate, because I read so many books about communication, how to be friends, how to uh the attached book, it's all about the attachments, how you should react, talk, behave. You have all these advices that you learn from someone else, but it is completely different game when you do it yourself, because you're like, oh, you got to control your anger, oh, you have to be not emotional. Obviously, you try not to be that way, but you're gonna be at that point when you're gonna feel those emotions, and sometimes you will lose the control of yourself and you're gonna be only responding, acting on your emotions. So this is where it's difficult, and this is where you got to learn from experience itself, because I feel like even till now, we all keep learning from relationships, how it works, having good communication, but there's always a learning experience from being there. So I feel like if you wait till you're 30 years old to start dating, I feel like that would make you feel left out, because you don't know what the fuck you have to do, and some people will take advantage of you. I feel like that's a very big part of it, because if you focus on your confidence, your money, your job, you financially be stable, you look great, and a lot of girls would take advantage of that, unless you find like a perfect girl who is good-hearted and only cares, like she cares about your it cares about you. But there's a possibility that it's not the case. This is the reason why you should be careful and actually learn from your experience and mistakes. And the goals have changed, and there's different motivation for things to start. So I started working out. My first motivation was to chase girls or attract girls. I don't chase girls, but attract girls. And then you continue working out for trying to be bigger, you're trying to be better version of yourself, trying to improve every day. So every time you try something, you learn from it and you adjust. So it's a learning curve that you have to go through yourself. Through yourself? Yeah, go through yourself. Like, for example, with me, I also learned that's kind of annoying, but that's what I'm going through right now. But I went to Europe trip, as you guys know, and I didn't buy insurance for my flight. That was like $1,200, and I was like, no way we're gonna cancel it. But because they charged me twice, I asked for a refund, obviously, and then they sent me refund back, the first one, and they sent me the second one, and I was like, oh shit, they refund me the whole flight, so let me buy another new flight. And then after a couple of like 2 months, they took my money back, the first airline that I bought, and they said that, oh, they took the money because you asked for a refund, so they refund the whole thing, and then they check the details, they check um they checked the payment and they realized I paid for the first one, so they put the first one in, and I mean they put the price, they took the charge again, and I didn't do a refund for my second one, and I was like, oh, I don't really need it because I'm not gonna cancel it for sure. And now I had two fucking tickets for two flights, two flights, and that's where I was really pissed at myself. But now I learned that I have to buy a refund, buy insurance for my flights, even though my parents have been telling me that and my brother been telling me that, but I did not listen because I didn't want to spend like $50 for insurance, but where I could save fucking $1,200. So yeah, that's my experience, and yeah, I just want to let you guys know that this is an example of why sometimes it's smarter to learn from someone else's mistake, but sometimes you got to go through it so it will be more painful and more memorable for you. So thank you guys for listening and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.